In front of you are the average faces of 3 countries: China, Japan, and Korea. Can you tell which one is Chinese in 3 seconds? Here are average points of Northeastern and Southern Africa, and these are average points of European countries. Have you noticed a significant feature in these average faces from around the world? Symmetric features, with no prominent flaws. These faces can surpass 90% of people in attractiveness. Take these 6 regular faces for instance. Don't you think their combination seems more appealing? Why so? What explains this odd concept? In psychology, this is called the average face effect. Closer you are to the norm, the more beautiful you appear. Average face relates to exceptional beauty, not just the ordinaries. Moreover, the more typical the face is, the more it is deemed attractive. This curious effect was identified back in 1878. That year, a Cambridge Trinity College graduate, an outstanding contributor in statistics, genetics, and psychology, called him, yes, the inventor of the Galton board. By the way, his cousin was Darwin, who liked taking photos of people. He invented a method to combine multiple portraits, using exposure techniques to distinguish different races. He was curious and combined criminals' photos to find common facial traits of criminals. Surprisingly, the composite portraits turned out to be quite handsome, making it hard to associate with criminals. After all, everyone has a perception of beauty as good and ugliness as bad. We have to admit, this is a world that judges by appearances. On the street, seeing attractive people, we can't help but take another look, feeling an impulse to interact with them. Have you ever experienced that? If yes, don't be embarrassed. It's an instinct encoded in your genes. Unlike other animals with specific mating seasons, humans can be attractive all year round, though society's morals keep us in check. Do you remember the last time you felt elated? Nothing is more pleasing than a beautiful face. Attractive faces activate the brain's reward center, releasing dopamine, making us excited. Beautiful people often have an aura that makes us overlook their flaws, just like charismatic villains in anime and films who are also good looking. Let's try a little experiment. Below are 2 sets of photos, each with a murderer. Can you spot them? Pause the video and give it a try. So, did you make the correct guess? We are innately adept at assessing people based on looks and instinctual behavior. Researchers performed an experiment where they showed infants 2 photos, one deemed attractive, the other not, by adults. The infants fixated longer on the attractive images and avoid the unattractive ones. It seems humans innately know what beauty is and are drawn to beautiful things. These instincts are the result of millions of years of natural evolution. Evolution is solely for better gene propagation. Being attractive means having healthy genes. Thus, our preference for good-looking people isn't about aesthetics but a sign of health and better suitability for reproduction. For instance, why? Men are drawn to women with larger chests and backsides, with the former suggesting ample nourishment for infants, and the latter implying a more suitable pelvis for childbirth. In prehistoric times, complications during delivery could be fatal, and a slender waist and hips indicated fewer pregnancy complications. Indeed, humans possess a concealed ovulation and lack conspicuous estrus, making outward appearances all the more important. While contemporary society doesn't uniformly embrace these traits due to cultural influences, basic aesthetic preferences still prevail. On the ancient savannas, early humans, much like other creatures, were preoccupied with eating and reproducing, survival, and perpetuation. Spotting a robust, fit partner was accomplished by assessing physical attributes. Women likewise favored traits such as height, muscle, deep voices, presence, and some body hair. Neither can be internal root organs. These all reflect men's hunting ability, fertility, and ethnic status. Both genders admire traits such as large eyes, symmetry in facial features, elongated legs, and fair, unblemished skin, reflecting biological advantages. We naturally highlight these traits, akin to new students showcasing their abilities to secure a preferred mate. Other animals, not to mention some male birds, show off that their dancing skills are not inferior to those of humans. For example, the ballet of the 6-line hummingbird, the elegant jazz dance of the gorgeous bird of paradise, and the pygmy birds can also dance too much on the branch. Even with the male bird's intense courtship, female birds judiciously pick partners. Let's be clear, these males are focused on mating and leave child-rearing to the females. Like muddy fish that venture onto land, risking predation to court a mate within death, showing that survival drives can push boundaries. Human instinct hasn't changed. A Stone Age infant raised among us today would seem no different, enjoying modern learning and peer companionship. It's challenging to grasp that our lineage stems from an epoch of raw survival, yet our forebears endured. Molecular studies reveal that Homo sapiens numbers once dwindled to a couple thousand over 100,000 years ago. Though nearly wiped out, our physiology is akin to that of ancient humans, with little evolutionary change. Modern lifestyles clash with our hunter-gatherer biology, unadapted to contemporary habits, thus leading to obesity. A series of diseases such as high cervical spondylosis and lumbar spondylosis belong to modern people. Excess weight visibly impacts attractiveness, understood through our genes signaling that obesity indicates poor health, potentially deeming one less suitable for partnership. Struggling to find a mate could point to a need for self-reflection. If yes, then you have great potential in looks. We belong under the shade of green trees, not amidst towering buildings. We inherently feel close to nature. Our genes call for resonance with it. So, during leisure time, put your phone down, feel the winter sun, the breeze in the woods, listen to nature's tempo, find a sturdy stick as a useful tool, and connect with the ancient memories from our ancestors. Do you still remember the question at the start of the video? Why is the average face more attractive? With the development of evolutionary psychology, scientists have identified 3 traits that are attractive across cultures and even species: averageness, symmetry, and sexual dimorphism. Let me decode them for you. First, faces that are highly average are low in uniqueness. Extreme features often indicate mutations. Animals generally prefer mates with fewer extreme features. Average traits are the ones most adapted to the current environment, reflecting developmental stability. This implies a high tolerance to stress during development, like strong disease resistance. These results don't mean that all beautiful faces are average faces, as there are unique and niche looks too. But it's a fact that average faces are more beautiful than most. Another example. Why do mixed-race individuals often look more attractive? Because parents from different races are more likely to have different sets of genes adapted to local environments, which might grant mixed-race faces with enhanced disease resistance. Or the preference for mixed-race faces could be a mechanism to avoid inbreeding. Second, symmetry. In the natural world, most animals, apart from unusual ones like flatfish, exhibit bilateral symmetry. Symmetrical bodies are attractive to many animals. Asymmetrical features, on the other hand, often appear odd and unattractive. The more symmetrical the facial features, the stronger the ability to withstand developmental stress. It's like crafting a perfect sculpture, almost impossible to make perfectly symmetrical. Asymmetrical traits might indicate poor genes, intellectual deficiencies, or hereditary diseases. Third, sexual dimorphism, meaning clear differences in the physical structure of males and females during maturity. The more pronounced the sexual traits, the more attractive to the opposite sex. Also known as sexual selection, an interesting phenomenon is testosterone, a sex hormone that promotes secondary sexual characteristics in males. During puberty, it causes beard growth, a more pronounced Adam's apple, thicker eyebrows, a broader chin, and developed muscles. It's believed higher testosterone may suppress the immune system. High testosterone enhances sexual signals but reduces immunity, presenting a paradox. How to explain this? A great example is peacocks. Male peacocks, which are more beautiful than females, display the largest and most beautiful tail feathers during courtship to attract a mate. Though hauling a bulky and unwieldy tail, foraging in the forest to avoid predators is obviously a burden. But this also means that males who can survive despite this burden must be healthy and strong. Similarly, only very healthy and strong men can maintain high levels of testosterone. This is actually a common evolutionary rule. For example, the magnificent lyrebird. Their beautiful large feet serve the same purpose. These creatures often get stuck on trees and die of hunger or fall prey to stealth attacks due to the same trait. But this does not deter males from evolving larger horns in fierce courtship competition. Alas, males in the wild risk their lives for mating. This explains why males are often more beautiful than females in the animal kingdom. Females are responsible for reproduction, and under natural circumstances, every female is expected to reproduce. While males, conversely, do not all get the opportunity to mate, so females tend to select them, preferring the prettiest ones. Many males are not monogamous and leave immediately after mating, leaving the female to conceive and raise the offspring alone. So, looking dull and inconspicuous is preferable to avoid predators. A notable exception that everyone knows is the seahorse. Male seahorses are responsible for carrying offspring, making female seahorses the ones competing for males. Of course, some may ask why human females are more attractive than males. Humans are monogamous, and humans are born premature, unlike other animals that can hop around immediately, making parenting cost high. Both parents must work together to raise their young. Women evolved to retain men longer for childbearing by concealing ovulation, maintaining traits seen during other animals' mating seasons, such as large breasts and gentle curves, making women appear more attractive. Many principles are common in the animal kingdom. No species is so special. Humans, as advanced as they are products of evolution, not design. Each trait can be traced back. We'll discuss human evolution stories in detail later.